Your squad dominated tonight. I feel a little uncomfortable asking you to make a declarative, but is the Riot somewhat of a fortress now for the Royals with their improvements this part of the season?
It's all about pride. It's like making sure. I think last season when we came in, we said we want to be competitive. But I think like when you play at home, you need to show the people why they're coming out to games. I think a Friday 8 p.m. game, we're targeting young kids. It's not the easiest thing to do. So whenever they come out to us, we have to make sure we give them something back. And I think last 2 games we were finally in the right position to give people something back. I think that's what we've been enjoying as well as a team. You get your second shutout of the season, second shutout at home as well. So I think that's what we really want to make as a statement. Like we have 2 games coming up at home in September, 2 consecutive games. Like those have to be games where we really focus on one getting a shutout and giving something back to the people and winning games at home.
You in my heart, you're famously a numbers guy. You like to throw out percentages and things. So I'll ask you this, and maybe this is hard to quantify, but where do you feel like this squad's at? Do you feel like at 100% everything's firing? Where do you feel like the squad's at?
Well, I think we're at 60%. I think the 40% margin is getting people to be able to play 90 minutes in the way that we wanted to play. I think we had 9 modified players going into the game. So when you make subs at the 60th minute, very often it's because you have to. I think medical and performance staff are doing a very good job to get everyone back, but also to keep everyone healthy. So I think the next 10-15% is making sure that everyone's actually able to play 90. And at that point, people will be uncertain about coming into the game. They will really have to compete to the fullest. You already feel like there is a lot of competitiveness, but if you can add that part, people will really have to do a very, very good job to get other people out of the squad. And I think that's what we want to go to. So I think that's important. I think second part of it, if you can keep an Angel City for, I think, 70% of the second half on their own half, making the goalkeeper take time, making Sarah Gordon go down to get time and to just play out the game and be done, I think those are just signals that we have to give to the players, and they earn a point, and I feel like we earned slightly more as well today.
Thank you. You mentioned the shutout, and it's clear the team has improved defensively with 1 goal allowed, 0 goals allowed. Now offensively, is it just a matter of Chloe Lacasse playing 90 minutes to kind of unlock more offensive opportunities for you guys?
I just think it's the first time this season that we're getting on the opponent's half so many times. So I think we really put the emphasis on the defensive part for the whole month of July. And I think that's what you see as well, because I'm not only just talking about Kale and Kay doing a great job, but I'm also talking about Aisha putting pressure forward. So everyone that wants to drop a ball into our half of the pitch, they only get 2 to 3 seconds, which makes it defensively just slightly easier very often to go into the 50-50s, whilst previously we gave a lot of time on the ball to the opponent, and their deliveries in this league are just so good that we're really in trouble. So I think that's really important. And next step, and I think that's this week's topic actually, and that's also a good thing, like all the topics are set. We have a topic for the next 7 weeks on paper already. And I think the next topic is playing on offensive transition. I think we had a few very good recoveries in our own half, on the opponent's half, but how do we actually want to outplay them? How do we want to score goals? And I think it's step by step. And I think right now we increased by, was it 45% our recoveries, which is huge. So now it's time to use the recoveries and make sure we are a threat to the opponent as well.
You've mentioned the competition within the team now that there's more healthy players. With those more healthy players, you have healthy scratches, healthy players that don't make the game day roster, like Macy, like Michaela. Mm-hmm. What do those types of players, Macy, let's take Macy for example, what does she have to do to make it back into the game day roster?
Yeah, I think Macy is maybe not the best example to be talking about. I think there is a whole background of why or why not Macy is involved in the game squad. I think that takes about 6 to 7 months of history right now, and it's nothing Macy against us, not us against Macy. Macy is doing well at practice, she's doing her job. There's just other things that are playing for her right now, which make it hard for us to just involve her in the game squad. So again, like, it's not about not wanting or not willing, it's just more like it's really a private matter that right now is keeping her out of the game squad. And that's something as a coach you have to take into account as well. Players have to want to really participate and feel in a very good spot to be able to participate, and that's just not always the case. So I think that's just something we have to take into our mind. So I think what do those players have to do? I think right now we have 5 defensive midfielders, so it doesn't really make sense to take 5 to a game, especially when you know that right now we're pushing ourselves in a position where we can win games. As a coach at that point, very often you'll go for the extra offensive choice and bring those players with you. So I think that's what changed. But I think in general it was the very, very first game where we actually left people at home. I think previously we left KK at home, Macy, but those are two different situations. So I think right now was the very first game where we actually had to bring a very hard message to players. And I'm really curious how they will react on Monday. Because that's what we want to see, and we're not blind to anything. Brecken trained, had an amazing training week, and she's in the starting 11. That's how simple it goes. Do your best, show us something, and you'll be playing.
Coach, considering the team has only scored 1 goal in the last 3 games, what alternative attacking strategies do you have in mind to help to generate more scoring opportunities and increase the goal output?
Yeah. I think there are two sides. We scored 1, but we only conceded 2 against, I think, some of the better teams in the league. How are we going to score goals is, I think, when you see Chloe Lacasse coming on, you see that teams have to make a different strategy. They switched Giselle Thompson, I think, 3 times between the left and the right side because they didn't know how to react on Chloe coming in. So you need that spark in a player. You need that player that really takes something from a responsibility point of view, and teams will adapt. I think when Chloe came on, all of a sudden we had 10% or 20% more space for Mina, because people, the second Chloe got the ball, they were all shifted, giving away space for Mina. Mina got 2 shots on goal ever since Chloe came into the game. So it's making sure that we keep on doing that. But at the end of the day, I think defending is quite straightforward. It's tasks, responsibility. I think offensively it's very often just a spark, a talent, something very particular. And I think, look at Alyssa Thompson, look at that type of player. Like, every time she touches the ball, it's a dangerous situation. She, in one of the offensive transitions for them, she crossed 70% of the game, of the pitch. So that's what we need to be creating as well.
And one last one for me. Ana Tejada was a regular starter in the last season and the first half of the season. Why hasn't she been playing recently?
Hard questions today. Tejada and I had a very good conversation yesterday. If we look at what we need from midfielders, we need the physicality, the quality on the ball. I think also everyone sees that we're getting ourselves higher up on the pitch in a press with our midfielders. And she knows that's a job that she has to do at practice. But again, practice is the first element where we have very high standards. And if you meet those standards, you'll come closer to playing. And I think her and I had a very good conversation yesterday. We made everything very tangible for Tejada to be playing, to get minutes, and now it's up to her.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Mandy, or who's got the mic? Caleb's got the mic to start this time. All right, go ahead and fire away, Caleb.
Congratulations on the second clean sheet of the season tonight, Mandy. What did it take to get that?
Took the whole team, and I think we're getting so much better defensively in the box and our shape behind the ball, and roles are so much more clearer now, and I think you can see that we're putting our body in front of the ball, and just leaving me to do one save preferred. So the team did great, so that's the reason why we got the shutout.
And then I guess now that you guys have improved defensively, it seems like, just 2 goals in the last 3 games allowed. Going forward offensively, what's that improvement looking like? What are things that you guys are trying to do to create more opportunities offensively?
Right. Now it's just like after we win it defensively, how can we be more threatening in transition? I think we have this like keep versus kill mentality, and I think we're a really great team in possession, and we got that keep part down. So it's now how do we have that killer instinct, to turn the team around, the opposition around, get in line, and get some services into the box.
Hey, Mandy. I don't know if this is fair to ask one player to talk about another, but if we're going to talk about your back line, can you just talk about the work rate of Amani Dorsey and how much of an engine she has and how she looks like the Rookie of the Year 2018 again?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to be with Monty for a long time. We came over from Gotham together, and just seeing her blossom after that hard injury, that's the Amani I know. And she's such a leader on this team too, and just a veteran that's so needed in our back line, and really helps us get down the pitch. And her recoveries, and I've never seen anything like that, the engine that she has. So we love her on the field. I love having her as an outlet always, and I'm super happy and proud of her for all the work that she's done to be able to perform the way that she's performing this year.
And maybe this is just my eyes and I'm totally off base, but it feels like this defensive effort that you and Caleb talked about is a full squad. It feels like the bodies that are getting back is for lack of a better way to put it, much more impressive than maybe early season. Is that something the squad is working on? It's a team thing. It's not the defensive midfielder. It's not the back line. It's the squad.
100%, and it's this second preseason. It's just been all about togetherness, and now we've really just been honing in defensively, so we can stop giving away opportunities to our opposition, and now bringing that togetherness going forward is the next phase of our learning as a group.
You have. I told Jimmy this. It looks like the Riot is now kind of a fortress, but the next 3 games are away. What do you need to do to take the home performance on the road for these next 3 matches?
Just keep focusing on us. We've been putting our head down and just been focusing on our game plan, not even looking up on who the opposition is. And I think bringing that into the next 3 games is going to be huge, and really just rely on ourselves and each other. And I think we've been really good at bringing our own energy up. So I think that's going to be huge to translate that into other team stadiums.
Thank you.
Hey, Mandy, congrats on the clean sheet.
Thank you.
Take us through, apart from the improvements to the back line, take us through what other details you guys have changed coming out of the break to be able to get a good result against Orlando, a pretty good performance against Kansas City, and now a really good performance tonight.
Yeah, like I said, we've really been focusing on us, and it's not so much details. We've just been refining what we already know and really honing in on just defense and togetherness and knowing our roles. I think once we got clarity on what everyone is supposed to be doing at every given moment, you've seen the way we've been able to play today. So it's been more just about assigning different roles, staying true to those, and getting a full 90 out of that.
If the team starts to be a little bit more efficient on net, getting those goals, what are you guys capable of?
Anything. I think once we get some goals, I know I can try to keep a good clean sheet, maybe 1 goal against. So if we can get unlocking that scoring, I think we'll turn the season around.
Amazing. Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
right, we have Nuria here. We're going to go ahead and start with Spanish, and then if you just give Alex a second to translate the question and the answer. Ready to say?
Nuria, has tenido un buen tiempo aquí en la liga, buen juego por cierto, ya creo que has aprendido un poco esa parte del fútbol aquí en los Estados Unidos, quizás una primera mitad complicada, pero esta segunda mitad la has empezado muy bien, has tenido muy buenos partidos. ¿Cómo te has sentido en tu adaptación aquí con las Utah Royals?
So you've adjusted well to the league. Obviously, looks like a better second half of the season than the first half. Obviously, adjusting just to the athleticism of the league. How are you feeling heading into the second part?
Pues bueno, es verdad que al final cuando llegué fue pues al final un tiempo de bueno, saber cómo era la liga, con mis compañeras, el equipo, al final era todo nuevo y yo creo que al final pues me costó un poquito. También venía de jugar la liga en Alemania y al final no había tenido pues descanso y yo creo que mi cuerpo eso lo notó también, sobre todo físicamente. Pero yo creo que ahora con el parón y todo lo que estamos aprendiendo y mejorando entreno a entreno, pues yo creo que me voy sintiendo mejor. También voy encontrando mi sitio en mi posición y con el equipo y yo creo que ahora estoy en un buen momento.
Yes, coming over here to the United States, obviously new teammates, new system, stuff that I had to learn, and I had just come from playing the league in Germany, so I didn't have a break in between joining the league. So now after this little break, it just feels more comfortable learning kind of just my position on the team, the new tactics and everything, so it's been a lot better.
Jimmy mencionó que el mes de julio, durante el parón, hubo mucha intensidad en temas defensivos, que era algo que él quería mejorar. En estos últimos 3 partidos solamente han recibido 2 goles. ¿Cómo fue esos entrenamientos? ¿Cómo han sido? Sobre todo por esa misma intensidad y que se ha reflejado en el campo, que han mejorado bastante defensivamente.
Jimmy mentioned earlier that the month of July you guys worked a lot on the defensive side of the game. Obviously, the last 3 games, you've only conceded 2 goals. What were those trainings like, and what has that helped you guys improve?
Bueno, es verdad que pusimos mucho énfasis en el juego defensivo porque al final estábamos encajando muchos goles y yo creo que eso nos ayudó mucho a mejorar. También al final hemos recuperado jugadoras de la parte defensiva que yo creo que nos han ayudado un montón y yo creo que estamos manteniendo un buen físico. Al final estamos entrenando bien, estamos manteniendo las cargas. Yo creo que el trabajo del cuerpo técnico, preparadores y al final médicos, yo creo que están haciendo un buen trabajo y yo creo que al final pues eso se ve reflejado ahora en la segunda parte de la liga.
So we did put a lot of emphasis into defensive just because we were conceding a lot of goals earlier, but our technical staff has done a really good job, our medical staff. We've recovered a lot of players from injury defensively that have been a huge help, so it's just been better.
Hello. You talked about just a minute ago having to learn the league and your squad, your team. What has made the difference in your partnership with Kaylee, especially there as the closest center back, and also we can throw in Kate? What has made the difference in you becoming a cohesive back line?
Mencionaste que te tomó un poquito de tiempo aprender tus nuevas compañeras. ¿Cómo ha sido la diferencia jugar con Kaylee y Kate cuando están jugando ellas de center backs?
Bueno, al final creo que es algo que el hecho de jugar juntas durante X partidos, pues al final te da esa tranquilidad y al final conocernos unas a otras. Yo creo que al final pues intentamos sentirnos cómodas con cualquier jugadora que esté a nuestro lado, pero bueno, es verdad que ahora que llevamos partidos juntas, al final pues nos entendemos más, nos comunicamos mejor y yo creo que eso es verdad que lo estamos practicando todas las jugadoras en cualquier parte del campo, pero al final el hecho de jugar varios partidos con ella, pues al final sientes un poco más de confianza con la de al lado, te entienden mejor, yo la entiendo mejor a ella y yo creo que al final pues eso se ve reflejado todo.
So just playing more together, obviously you want to be able to do that with any player that slots in, but when you're playing number of matches with her, you guys just have better confidence with each other, better communication and more trust, which has really made the difference.
Casi metiste tu primer gol esta noche. ¿Sientes cerca de tener un gol?
You almost scored your first goal. Do you feel that it's getting close?
Sí, la verdad que al final pues una defensa al final es raro que esté ahí arriba, ¿no? Y yo creo que al final estos últimos partidos estoy teniendo como esas llegadas más arriba, que es lo que me gustaría conseguir en cada partido y al final tener ese tipo de oportunidades que bueno, pues considero que que trabajo en los entrenos y trabajamos muchas veces y yo creo que al final quiero que alguna vez llegue, pero bueno, no se ha dado.
So you don't obviously often see a defender up in that position, but I've been in the last few games and obviously just practicing them at practice, but yeah, hoping one of them goes in.
Gracias.
Thank you, Nuria.
Welcome.